Hey, Mark Harrington coming to you live here from the University of Kentucky in Lexington, Kentucky. We're displaying our Jumbotron today, created equal here. And we've been on the circuit now. We've got the, what are we calling it?
Road Trip for Life.
Road Trip for Life. I forgot what the name of it was. We call it the Road Trip for Life, where our young people have been on the road for now almost 2.5 weeks. We've got two groups basically traveling the country. We got some in Ohio, we got some in the surrounding states of Michigan, Indiana, Kentucky. Obviously, we're here today. We're going to Pennsylvania, West Virginia. Did I say Michigan already? Yeah, okay. So we're going to be reaching about, I think it's 30-some college campuses before the end of October, and also some 20 high schools. We're also going to clinics every day. So each day, our activists, our Road Trip for Life warriors, are going to be going to a clinic or abortion facility, a university campus, and a high school. And that's what we've been doing for the last 2.5 weeks. And so we're here at the University of Kentucky. As you can see behind me, our Jumbotron, or what we call son of Jumbotron, our son of Jumbotron. The Jumbotron, a real Jumbotron, by the way, an authentic Jumbotron, is what we use at the March for Life, and that screen is 12 by 18, a little bigger than this one. It also comes on a trailer and it periscopes out of the trailer. That's what we use in big venues like the March for Life and other large gatherings. When it comes to a college campus, this is what we use. It's still the Jumbotron technology, the LED screen. It's just a little bit smaller, and it doesn't come with a trailer, and there's obvious reasons for that, because we can't just roll up and put a trailer on a college campus, as a lot of places won't permit it. It just doesn't work. So what we do is we actually build a scaffolding, you see behind me, and these little cubes or these modules, these units here actually are constructed to form this 6 by 8 screen that you see behind me. So this is the Jumbotron technology. Now, just FYI, when we use an iPhone, because of the refresh rate on the video, sometimes it's not really coming out through the video the way it would if you looked at it with the naked eye. FYI. I mean, this is crystal clear for students for long ways back and forth, whether they're nearby or they're far away. They can see this no matter what. So we're right in here, the heart of campus here at the University of Kentucky with the Jumbotron. We also have our other abortion victim photos around the display. And the point is, people ask, well, why do you do it this way? Why do you use victim photos? Why do you use victim video? And the reason we do that is because we believe that we need to set the foundation for an informed debate. And if you don't set the foundation starting with that abortion is an act of violence and the baby's a baby, then it's just a bunch of opinion. And you're going to get people up here saying, well, this is what I think, and then you're going to say, well, this is what I think. Yeah, we have the facts, we got the logic, we have the science, of course, but the photos set the stage for the dialogue, and it's necessary, it's required in my opinion. I frankly would not use or would not debate abortion if I had the opportunity. I would not do it without some type of imagery, because the pictures don't lie. Still images, it's been said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, a video, if that's true, a video is worth 1,000,000 words, and that's what this video does. So we've had students streaming by the display all throughout the day. We were at the University of Louisville this week. We were at Eastern Kentucky, and today we're at the University of Kentucky. Tonight, our team will leave and head out to Morgantown, West Virginia. The University of West Virginia will be our event tomorrow. So, a lot of people are curious about the Jumbotron. Like I say, this isn't the one we used at the March. This isn't the 12 by 18, but it's the same technology, scaled down for a college campus, more suitable, I would say, for a college campus. And we call it son of Jumbotron, affectionately. So, as you can see behind me, these, it goes without saying what's going on in this video here. It's interesting, we get people coming up and asking for proof. Give us proof that these are actual photos. I often think that's actually kind of curious. Why do we really need proof? I mean, do you think we go to the extent of Photoshop and all this stuff? who could create that video? I guess it could be done today, but really, I always tell them, well, if you don't think these are real, if you think they're fake, okay, well then show me a real abortion. Why don't you provide the evidence? If you say the onus is on you to provide imagery of an actual abortion, not us. I mean, we're showing it. You need to show what you think is an abortion. Of course, they never do because they realize these actually are images and video of abortion. We also have a signed affidavit from Anthony Levitino saying that these are actual abortions. He's a medical doctor who performed 1,200 abortions himself. He verifies that these are true as well. We also have the photographer himself has signed an affidavit. So, I mean, we have what we need to provide general evidence that these are actual videos and photos of abortion. But behind the thing is, when people come up and ask that question, there's something behind the question. And the question is, they want to try to catch you off guard, on a technicality, because they really don't want to deal with the imagery themselves. They want to change the subject, right? They don't want to talk about what these pictures are, and they keep, because if they are real, if they do depict the injustice of abortion accurately, then those who support the killing have a big problem on their hands. And that's why we have protesters set up alongside here of the Jumbotron right now with their Planned Parenthood signs and so forth. We got the anarchists out here, we got the Antifa. They're all out here trying to reach people. They're out here because they know what's going on. I mean, they wouldn't be out here if this wasn't effective. So this is the Jumbotron, son of Jumbotron, and we're at the University of Kentucky today. So here's what I'd like to do. I'm going to introduce to you Lauren Metz. Lauren's with our team this week, our Road Trip for Life team. Lauren, if you would come. I wanted to just get Lauren to answer a few questions. If you would go ahead and come underneath the yellow tape here. I mean, this isn't much of a barrier, folks. If somebody wanted to come inside this, they could. But it creates some kind of at least a visual barrier that if you do come inside, that's not a good idea, and we have law enforcement stationed outside the area in the event that happens. But Lauren's with us. She's a gap year. Come on closer here. She's what we call a gap year intern. A gap year intern is generally someone who graduated high school and is in between high school and college and wants to try out the idea of doing full-time work. So they spend 9 months with us generally, and after that 9-month period, we evaluate things between us and decide whether they want to continue on or not, go to college, what have you. But it's an opportunity to kind of test the waters on whether they want to do full-time work with Created Equal. Lauren's also been on our Justice Ride. She's been an intern over the summer, so she understands what we do. And I just wanted to have you guys who are watching hear from her. I mean, she's been on the Road Trip for Life now for 2.5 weeks, been to all the colleges, all the high schools, all the clinics. And I just want to ask her, Lauren, how are things gone generally? I mean, speaking on the trip. I know you're tired. I know it's a lot of work. You wake up early, go to bed late. But generally speaking, how have things been for you?
It's actually been really, really great. It's been really, really great. Just a full schedule, which has been amazing. We talk to so many people and we get the message out to so many people, and it's really great to see like that happening and to see people's minds change right in front of you.
So you've been to I don't know how many colleges now. Give me some notable conversations or events or experiences you've had, because there are people watching this, parents maybe that have young people that they might want to think about sending out for the Road Trip for Life or go on a Justice Ride or be part of our internship. And I want people to know that what we do is effective. So, give us, I don't know, a typical day, what happened, good and not so good. I mean, it's all good, really, but if you would, tell me about what's been going on the last couple of weeks.
Okay. I think one of my favorite conversations that I had was at the Eastern Michigan University. And
Ypsilanti.
Yeah.
Not Ypsilanti.
Oh, Ypsilanti, of course.
It's not Ypsilanti. It's Ypsilanti.
Yeah.
Right.
And we were out there for a while, and then we started getting our protesters, and they brought out their cardboard signs that they had made, and it definitely, like, they way outnumbered us.
Really?
Yes, it was crazy.
Did they know we were coming? They must have, because normally if they don't outnumber us. It's not, by the way, folks, it's not hard to outnumber us right now. I mean, we're purposely a small team. So you can be lean, mean fighting machine. So we can be moving quickly, going fast. We don't have the logistics of a big group. So that's part of it's on intent. We intend it to be a small group. So it's not unusual we'd be outnumbered on campus. But you know what? The Jumbotron is the equalizer. It's the protest equalizer. I don't care how many students you have out here. You could have hundreds out here. That thing will equal out any protest they come. So, okay, so Eastern Michigan, you're outnumbered. Go ahead.
We probably had about 30 protesters and then 5 of us. And I was going around and taking pictures, and a couple girls came up to me and asked why I wanted to take away women's rights. As a woman, get that question a lot.
Right. You're not a real woman unless you agree with abortion.
Of course,
right?
Of course.
Yeah.
And they were very angry at first. And one of them asked me if I would call women who have had abortions murderers. I said no. Like, I think that a lot of those women feel pressure. They're scared. They don't know what to do. And her whole demeanor changed. She was willing to listen to me after that, which was very exciting.
Well, she's probably pro-abortive herself. I mean, a lot of them are, as you well know. I mean, the protesters, a lot of them come from some background with abortion, whether they participated in it directly, took a friend to have one, or whatever. A lot of them are complicit. Therefore, they're expecting you, they're expecting you to maybe call them murderers and all that stuff. Of course, we don't do that. But once you allow them their guard to drop, then you can have that conversation. Go ahead.
So we started talking about every case imaginable. She asked about rape. She asked about in the life of the mother, what if the mother can't afford it, and each case we went through and we talked about it, and she started like slowly coming over to our side.
Wow, this is a protest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she didn't.
That doesn't happen every day.
Yeah. She didn't finish the conversation saying she was pro-life, but she said that I gave her a lot to think about. And she had to get to class, but she thanked me for being out there and said that I was the best or the nicest pro-lifer she had talked to.
Yeah.
And
like we're mean people. I mean, we're not, but yes, they perceive us as mean. And of course, the stereotype is that pro-lifers are mean. So she's bought into that lie.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But it was really like rewarding to talk to one of the women that came up and was originally hostile and finished thanking me for being there. So that was my favorite conversation that I had.
That was the favorite one.
Definitely.
How's everything else been going since then? I mean, I know it's a lot of work. You're up early. You go to bed late. How you hanging in there?
Pretty well. It's been tiring, but it's been really great. Like I really enjoy high school at the end of the day and talking to the people.
The high schools. By the way, we go to the so we do 3 things in one day: clinic, outreach, or abortion facility. I hate to call it a clinic because clinics are where people actually get healed. They don't get killed. But for the sake of argument or debate or presenting it, it's clinic outreach in the morning. Then we go to the college, then we go to the high school. Yesterday we went to a high school here in, it was in Richmond, which is outside Eastern Michigan University. And I've done a lot of high schools before, but if you go on our Facebook page, you'll see a picture of Sam and, was it Emma, at the crosswalk. And there had to be 150 high school students in a line waiting to come through the crosswalk, and as they did, they were getting information from us. So the high schools, to me, are probably our best events, and the main reason is the students still are not. They haven't bought into all the propaganda from the other side. They're going to get it when they come to university, like University of Kentucky. So they're still a little bit innocent on that issue. They're generally not as sexually active, right? So they haven't developed this entire coping mechanism for their behavior that it has to include abortion, right, if you're going to do that. So they're still very open-minded. So tell us about the best high school experience you had.
Yeah. Actually,
Now
yesterday.
Look into the camera now. Here.
So sorry.
Okay, there you go. Learn how to do this.
Yeah. Yesterday I talked to a girl, and it was the only conversation I had. And she came up to me, and she was like, "I'm pro-choice, but I really appreciate you being here." And she wanted to know why we were out there.
Was this yesterday then?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it was.
That was at school.
Yeah, it was. And she wanted to know why we were out there, and I talked to her about it, and she was like, "I really understand that, and I think that that's great. I think that you guys are probably doing a great thing. I have to do my own research, but thank you for talking to me." So that was really good. And I talked to another high schooler at a different high school who saw the images and was like, "That's a baby." And I was, "Yes, it is." And she asked how they do abortions. So I told her...
well, we had the victim imagery out, so
Yeah.
I mean, you could virtually point to one and talk to her about that. But did you happen to have the diagrams with you? Probably not.
I didn't at the time, no. But I talked to her about it, and she and I pointed to a picture, and the particular picture had the fetal head in it, and she was like talking about it, and she was like, "Wow, like they cut off the head. I could never have an abortion. That's terrible."
Yeah.
So they're very like open-minded. They
Right.
just like they see the images and they see the truth.
Right, they come to the conclusion that anybody should that doesn't have, that has a functioning conscience, that hasn't been, lied to by Planned Parenthood, and that is abortion kills a baby. It's pretty simple, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So before we move on, Lauren, tell our viewers why they should come on a justice ride. Why should they come on a justice ride?
You should come on a justice ride because it's a great way to start the dialogue. I came on my first justice ride and I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't know how to talk to anybody. I just had these beliefs. I didn't know what to say. I was terrified to talk to anybody about it because I figured they would know more than me. But the justice ride, it trains you on how to talk to people about it, and you're also with a great group of people who know how to, and they just want to help you, and there's a lot of fellowship, you make a lot of friendships, and it's just great all around.
Yeah, and that's going to be in March, so folks, if you want to join us for the Justice Ride, we'll be going to Florida. We go to several campuses in Florida in March. You can sign up by going to justiceride.org, justiceride.org. Lauren, thank you again. Say goodbye to everybody. Appreciate Lauren Metz. Be praying for our Road Trip for Life team as they continue the road trip, and we'll be ending at the end of the month of October. Thanks for stopping by, and let's get back out there and start talking to students. So again, Mark Harrington here, coming to you live, the Mark Harrington Show, your radio activist. We're coming to you live on Facebook, on Create Equals Facebook page today, and we come to you live every Wednesday, what am I saying? Every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. You can watch us here live, and you can also pick up the podcast on Podbean. We post that on our Facebook page after the show. It's also carried on YouTube and Twitter as well, Periscope. So later on, you'll be able to watch the show on that on those platforms. So here's the thing: I want to deal with a couple other issues. I often deal with the question of free speech because we deal with it all the time. It seems like every single day I'm battling to keep our rights to speak on behalf of the preborn. Just last week we had two incidents, one in Ypsilanti, Michigan, the other in Muncie, Indiana, where high school administrators, security guards, and others told us we didn't have the right on public sidewalk. Those videos are available on our Facebook page, and we are considering lawsuit right now against them. It's interesting, here in Kentucky, we have basically the tale of two universities. Just down the road, another 70 miles, we have the University of Louisville, which the other day, their free speech policy was draconian. Here's what they said. You can come, like they have to give us permission. They shouldn't need to, because we have the First Amendment. But you can come, but you can only display from 11 to 2. You have to be in a 20 by 20 square foot little box. And it really wasn't the prime location on campus. And they said that only 5 of your people can hand out literature. Now, juxtapose that against where I am now, the University of Kentucky, where they basically have an open policy. If you're an outside organization, you can come on the campus anytime, and you can go to any place on campus. There are no free speech zones, so to speak. You can go anywhere you want. So, I mean, help me understand that. basically it's this. The University of Louisville has gotten away with this policy forever, and they haven't been sued. And that's what it takes, often. They need slapped down by a lawsuit or the state legislature. Oh, here we go. Maybe we're going to get some chanting. That would be appropriate for right now, wouldn't it? But anyway, so our protesters here, and I'll show you them in a minute. But University of Kentucky, totally different situation, where I don't know why it is that they have a different position than Louisville, per se. They probably were sued. Maybe not. Maybe they just believe that the whole campus should be open for speech. There should be no restrictions. That's the way it should be on a college campus. But we're finding more and more these speech codes, these free speech zones, these restrictions that are put are happening more and more, and we're having to battle that. So here at the University of Kentucky, we haven't had that problem for the most part. Now, the other thing is a lot of people are concerned, or they wonder about these GoPros. See this right here? This is a GoPro. Every one of our staff and volunteers that come out on a college campus with us have a GoPro on. There's two reasons for that. Keep your eyes open, Sam, if you would, okay? There's two reasons for that. First is it gives a visual deterrent to anybody, whether it be a protester, whether it be an administrator, that they are being filmed. And if they're going to misbehave, if they're going to do something unlawful, we're going to capture it on tape. And if they do something unlawful, we're going to prosecute them and use that tape to do so. Because we live in a culture now that if it didn't get filmed, it didn't happen. And that's why we use the videos. We've learned the hard way. We've had things happen, we didn't capture it on video, and at one point I just said everybody's going to wear a GoPro. I mean, they're obviously not very fashionable, especially for the women, as you can imagine, but it's necessary. So it does add a deterrent factor when we actually have them on. So people know they're being filmed, they tend to behave a little better, generally. The other issue is with the administration, police, anybody, official. We get them on tape as well. And if they misbehave and say things or, take our signs and move them, tell us we can't be here, etc., we've got it on video and we can use that in a lawsuit if necessary against them. Or at least get them to apologize and make, some kind of assurances that they're not going to mistreat us the next time. So that's why we have the videos. These videos are critical to what we do. Absolutely critical. We cannot do this work without it. So that's why we have the videos. But we have students that come up and say that they don't want to be filmed, they don't want pictures taken of them, and so forth and so on. And I keep reminding them that we live in a public, this is a public university, and the law reads that you lose a reasonable expectation of privacy in a public area. So if you're out in a public area and people are filming you, too bad. That's just how it is. And in a public university, that's how it operates. If you're here and you don't want to be filmed, then you need to leave the area where the filming's taking place. So right now they're circulating a petition to try to get us to take down any photos that we put on Facebook of them. And I told them they're wasting their time. They said, well, we may take action legally. I said, go right ahead if you like. You're not going to get anywhere because our lawyers are easily going to beat that down in court. So I just want to explain why I have this GoPro on, why we take photos. It's all for security purposes, and when people misbehave, we have it on tape. So, all right. Anyway, there we go. So our protesters are beginning to act up. So what we want to do, Sam, if you want to turn it around, you turn it around, Sam. We'll get some antics behind us, will you? Hold on. So, where's Emma? Okay, let's see. I'll make sure everybody's still in place. Go ahead and you can maybe collapse that. Adam needs to be in position. Okay, let's turn it around here and show the protesters a little bit, if you would. They're lined up along this half wall, basically, with Planned Parenthood and other signs. Frankly, we found out about this because they posted a Facebook event about the protest, and they said they were going to try to disrupt the event. I take people at their word when they say that, so I contacted and let the police know, and they were here ready. Of course, they didn't do anything to disrupt it, which is good. Folks generally don't. They typically just hold posters, chant. They're not interested in speaking, not interested in debate. They're interested in censorship, shouting down, changing the subject, dispersions. That's how the pro-choice people have succeeded so long in keeping abortion legal. If we really had an honest debate about this, it'd be over. If it was about truth and logic, this would be over a long time ago. They've succeeded because they hold the positions of power, like on a university. The institutions of our country are basically dominated. Pop culture, education, you go down the line, every single one of them are dominated by abortion advocates. They don't need a debate. They just try to shut us down. We are the only countervailing position that will be presented on this university probably this semester. All they're going to hear inside these buildings in the classrooms are going to be a pro-choice position. So that's why we're here, and that's why we evoke this kind of a response from the student body, because they've never seen anything like this. The fact that we come out here boldly proclaiming the truth about what abortion is and does is an anomaly to this campus, and to most for that matter. So they're organizing now. Not really much happening, frankly. Not much problem or threat for us, thank goodness. They're allowing us to go about our business, which is good. That's what we want. We want conversation. If you would, Sam, let's just pan over here real quickly. We got Jeremiah talking to a student there, Jeremiah Keenan from Penn. Let's see, we got Adam. Let's go ahead and go on over here. We got Adam. There's Adam talking to a student right there. Adam's part of our team with the Road Trip for Life, as well as on the other side of Adam we have Rachel. She's talking to a couple of students. So we're having productive dialogue out here. The protesters are here, the marketplace of ideas, the university campus, and this is the University of Kentucky. So this is the way it goes, generally speaking, how we go on college campuses. The stereotypes that, are shouting, all that kind of thing. No, this is all about debate. This is all about debate and setting that foundation using victim imagery. We've just got to do it. There's no other way to do it. And folks wouldn't respond the way they do in opposition if it weren't for the fact that we're effective. So I don't need some kind of focus group. I don't need to spend millions of dollars in some kind of study to find out whether these work or not, because historically social reformers have always used victim imagery to make their point, and they've used it to confront a complicit and complacent culture, and that's what we do. We have history on our side. If it worked for them, it'll work for us. We're here to start a debate using these images, and we succeed every single time we go out. Now, of course, there are statistics and there are studies, and there has been a lot written about victim photography and how it works. And so we can, if we need to, present that evidence. We have anecdotal evidence I could bury you in, telling how this operates and how this works. But we all know intuitively that it does, or people wouldn't react the way they do. And we've had babies saved on this trip. We've had minds changed left and right. And like I say, we're trying to reach the middle ground people who say they're pro-choice but really don't understand why they are. They've just adopted that position because that's what others, those are the positions of their peers. And once you get, peel back a little bit of that onion, start getting into the conversation, we have a great opportunity to change their minds. So you couple the truth of abortion, the images, along with informed, respectful, winsome dialogue, and it's a winning combination. So that's why we're doing it here at the University of Kentucky. Again, this is Mark Harrington coming to you live. The Mark Harrington Show, your radio activist and voice of resistance, coming here to you live from the University of Kentucky. Pray for our road trip for life, leaving here today, heading to Morgantown, and next week we'll be in Pennsylvania. I'm not going to say where. You know why? Because I don't want people to know where we're going. It's best that they don't. We just show up, because we don't want to deal with the headaches that when people show up and try to disrupt our events. So we try to keep it close to the vest on that kind of stuff. But we're a lean fighting machine today here at the University of Kentucky. All right, Sam, can you think of anything else for me to share with our team here and our group on Facebook? What's that? Oh, yeah, we've had some vandalism. Sam wants to bring that up. Our perimeter signs, Sam, if you could, can you, well, they won't. We do have warning signs around the area, okay? The problem with those is they're further out than our footprint right here, and so students steal them. They take them, they deface them, they get vandalized, and so on the road trip for life, we lost a bunch of them. The university actually provided them today, which I was thankful for, because we do want to give. If people don't want to see the stuff, they can choose not to. Find another way to class. They don't have to come over here. My view is, though, university students can handle this stuff, right? I mean, we don't want to treat students with kid gloves. We don't need to be treating students like snowflakes who need safe zones for disturbing messages and speech. I mean, what kind of students are we raising if they can't cope with the issues of the day? And this should be the place where those issues are going to be discussed. So we don't do them any service or favors by protecting them and coddling them. However, we will provide the warning signs for those who don't want to go through. One last point, and then we'll end the program, and that is, what about crisis pregnancy? What about women who have had abortions? Those kinds of things. I had a woman this morning come up to me, a Christian woman, who said that we were doing harm for post-abortive women. Now, I asked her, okay, where's your evidence, first of all? And she talked about someone she knew that was raped and a long time ago and had an abortion because of it. And it's because she had a personal experience with abortion that skewed the way she looks at our outreach. And I challenged her. I said, that's horrible. We all condemn that. We want to love that person. We don't judge her for what she did. But we don't want to frame the argument based on the reactions of women who have had abortions. I mean, women are going to be reminded about their abortions in many ways, not just by a victim image. The sound of a vacuum cleaner could provoke some kind of emotion. Bumper sticker, pro-life bumper sticker, children in a park, and so on and so on. So we don't want to say, oh, because there's going to be these kinds of reactions, we can't tell the truth about abortion. Because if we do that, if we censor ourselves because of the born and the reactions of the born, as bad as that situation may have been for her, if we curtail and change the way we reach out to people in order to save as many babies as possible based on the experiences of the born, we're doing a huge disservice to the preborn. When we come on college campuses, babies are saved. Lots of them. We get testimonies all the time. And if the preborn are equal to the born, and if God sees the preborn as equal to the born, then we ought to be equally concerned for the lives of the preborn as we are the lives of the born. Of course we want to be compassionate towards women who have abortions or who have been raped and that kind of thing, sexual assault, of course. But we can't allow that to change what we do if what we do is the most effective thing in saving the born, or the preborn. Because we have on one hand the lives of preborn babies on one scale, and the other hand we have the feelings of the born. And we're more pro-life than we are pro-feelings. We're not out to hurt people's feelings or offend them or hurt them or damage them. But their feelings are not as important as the lives of a human being. And so I think in some ways this woman is what I call soft bigotry. And that is that she, in really the truth of the matter is, she doesn't see the born as the preborn as equal to the born, or she wouldn't look at the issue this way. All right, we're going to finish up the program. Sam, if you would, here's some protesters behind me. They seem to be having a lot of fun. If you would, hey Sam, let's do this before the program. Go ahead and lift it up. Go fold this up here real fast and just take it like a monopod. Come on with me. We want to go in front of the protesters for a second. Maybe they'll give us a good chant before the program's over. Come on with me. All right, come on. Here we go. Can you fold that up? All right, as you see, you've got Emma here talking. Lots of conversation happening. You want to get that together? Just hold tight for a second. Yeah, you got it? All right, come on. So Emma's here. See? Say hello, Emma. Hang on. Say hello, Emma.
Hello.
How are things going?
It's been going fantastic, actually.
All right. So what we want to do, we're going to go over here and look at the protesters. Come on, Sam. All right. A lot of people gathering. Keep an eye on the equipment here. I hate to lose my little perch. It's important that I lose my perch. I don't want to lose my perch.
Y'all with pro-life demonstration?
Create Equal, yeah.
He's with Liberty Hangout. Liberty Hangout. We're
okay, great.
Organization.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, so just don't mind me asking. So what's the purpose of what you're attempting to do here?
We're trying to stimulate debate on a college campus. I got to go back.
Okay.
Come on.
Because like one thing that seems like you have these guys over here that seem to be more or less blocking.
Well, they're not blocking, and they are now.
Yeah, that's one of the first things that I was sort of seeing. Like you can see that they're actually blocking.
Well, now they're moving into place. See, Sam? Now they've moved in. They're. Oh, here we go. This is going to be great video. So here we go. There we go. It took them a while to get bold enough to come in front of the display. Now they've done it. So now it'll be a lot of fun. They don't want to talk, unfortunately. But again, we're not here to talk to the protesters per se, unless they want to. Most of them don't want to talk at all. Oh, there's a great line. I love that. Whose campus? It's not really their campus because it's tax funded. It's funded by tax dollars. It's a public university. You don't own. It's not your private social club. It's not your private social club. It's not a private social club, though. It's not a private social club. They treat it as their own private social club, which I think is very interesting. Really? Tax-funded public university, not a private social club. Anyway, just to correct your thinking a little. Well, here they are. There you go. You can listen in a little bit. That was good timing, Sam. They came to me. I didn't have to go to them. So here they are. The chance to continue through the day. And we got pan out over here a little bit. Let's just look at the.
Y'all can't use this video.
I've already been over that. You guys do what you like. If you would like to sue us, we're lawyered up. We'll win in court. Good luck. Yeah. No, they don't. Anyway, so we've got this pan out over here. See all the students watching. By the way, they're watching this camera, the video here behind me, so they're seeing everything. These folks are they're basically helping us out by drawing attention to what we're doing. Because otherwise, these folks would probably just go on to class. I mean, they would look over here. They probably just go on to class and, walk by. But because they're protesting, they're now standing around and watching what we're doing, and they're taking time to draw attention to our display. So anyway, I hope they come up with some more chants, Sam. Right?
I thought that was an interesting chant. The hey, keep your hands off my sister. What about the women that are being aborted by male abortionists?
Ah, yes, the male abortionists have their hands all over. Yeah. Well, they're trying to work up to coming up with some chants, so we'll hang on here a little bit longer on the Mark Harrington Show. How long have we been going here, Sam? About 35 minutes. Okay. So here we are again on the campus of the University of Kentucky. We have our video screen behind me here, along with our abortion images, and along with lots and lots of students stopping by, including some protesters. Isn't it interesting? They're concerned about them being filmed. They don't want to talk about the abortion issue, but they're concerned about being filmed, even though they don't understand the law. The law is clear that if you're in a public area, you lose a reasonable expectation of privacy. Well, I guess it's probably a good thing today that we don't have the bed sheets come out, because if the bed... There we go. Here's a good one. I like that one. By the way, there's nothing on our signs that say anything about church, church affiliation, Christianity, religion, at all. They just assume, right, that we are Christians, which we are, and unapologetically Christian. They assume that we are because I guess Christians are pro-life. That's kind of how it operates. What about the pre-born women? What about their rights? Looks like we've got about 30 or 40 of the students. Pan out here again, Sam. This is great. This is awesome. We got a captive audience. It's like I am now presiding over class at the University of Kentucky. I'm probably reaching more students at this campus today than any professor is. Now, they actually are onto something there. Democracy should look like free speech. Maybe they're onto something there. Oh, we have an anarchist here. Go ahead and pan out to the anarchist here. Are these the Antifa? Oh, these are the anti-racist action, apparently. They look a little bit like Antifa. I hope the audio is coming through for you. I would go outside the perimeter here of the screen, but I don't want to leave it unguarded. I would normally go out there since they're facing that direction, but I really can't do that right now because I would be leaving my post in front of the screen, and that would be a problem possibly because we hang on. Where are our people? Okay. Hang on. Lauren! Keep taking them. Keep taking pictures. Keep taking photos. You got to close the camera. Oh, you're kidding me. Please. We got to get this on camera. Why wouldn't we give that? All right, here we go. All right, let's pan one more time here, folks. Look at the numbers of people that are looking at our TV screen. I mean, no words are necessary. Words are not necessary to explain what abortion is rhetorically. Look, I mean, these pictures they're a data compression device that replace all the rhetoric just in a glance, a video like this. So that's a good position right there. They're getting better at their chants. All right, we're going to cut it off here. I know it's a lot of fun, but listening to the protesters, we're going to cut it off here. You've been listening to and watching the Mark Harrington Show here on Facebook. We'll see you next time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, here on Facebook, here on Created Equal, every Thursday, 1 p.m. God bless you, God bless America, and remember, America, to bless God.